Alright everybody, welcome back to Round 3 coverage of the 2014 West Virginia State Championship, the local store-sponsored championship event for the Mountain State here. We're already into Round 3. For those of you watching live, I apologize. There was a fire alarm during Round 2 that set this tournament back almost entirely an hour. So we are struggling to get ourselves back on track. In our Round 3 feature match, we have on the left streamer regular Alec Myers from Lost Legion in South Charleston. He's playing a red-green devotion deck. It's basically a mono-red devotion deck splashing for Xenagos and Domri, both of which we see here in his opening hand. And his opponent is Jeff Ledsome from DNS Collectibles, I believe is the official name of the store, in Fairmont. And he is playing a black-white mid-range deck. Both these players are 2-0. As we see a Thoughtseize from Jeff on turn 1, and then Alec doing 2 more damage with the Ash Zealot on his turn. So Jeff's deck, basically the control portions of both halves of the blue-white control deck and the mono-black devotion deck. He has Thoughtseize, he has Desecration Demon, he has a Blood Barons, and the associated cards that you would expect. And Jeff has seen enough. As a turn 2 Ash Zealot and then a Burning Tree Chain into a second Ash Zealot on turn 3 is enough for Jeff to pack it up. And we move to game 2 very quickly. So Jeff Ledsome on the play here, down a game in this round 3 feature match, losing to a couple of early Ash Zealots out of his red-green devotion opponent. Scries turn 1 off a temple, and then shocks himself to play a turn 2 Pack Rat. So we'll see how his second game compares to his first, as he lands a second copy of Pack Rat. Still stuck on 2 lands, but with 2 Pack Rats, still in a great position here. Looks like a Thoughtseize inbound, revealing Mountain Storm Breath, Xenagos, Xenagod I should say, the god version of a Xenagos. Mountain, Xenagos the Planeswalker, another Storm Breath, and another Mountain. So Xenagos the Planeswalker inbound next turn, so that's likely what you would take here. The black-white mid-range deck not nearly as susceptible to the Storm Breath Dragons as the blue-white decks, as they do have access to Hero's Downfall and then the Ultimate Price Doomblade split. But it'll still be interesting to see what Jeff takes here. He is going to take Xenagos the God, and then serve in for 2 with his, or serve in for 4 I should say, 2 apiece with his 2 Pack Rats. Alec draws a Burning Tree Emissary off the top, and then cast the Xenagos Planeswalker we knew about. So he's going to be able to trade with those Pack Rats if Jeff does not find either another copy of Pack Rat or there is his 3rd land. So trade's not going to be nearly as lucrative at this point, as he can make a token and send those up to 3 power and toughness. So Jeff considering his options here, and again I apologize for the glare. For whatever reason, the player on the left has had a lot of glare all day today. I don't know if it's specific to the sleeves they're using or whatnot. But we serve in, take out Xenagos. Alec double blocking one of the Pack Rats, so he's effectively 1-for-1 on the creatures, but he did lose his Planeswalker. But we know a Storm Breath Dragon is inbound here, so Alec just looking to race. That's what his deck does well. He's playing all the cards we've seen. He's also playing Fanatic of Mogus, and can really pile on the damage relatively quickly. So Jeff finds a 4th land, but unfortunately it's an Orzhov Yieldgate, so leaving any Desecration Demons in his hand still stranded until next turn. So he's considering his options here. 2 Pack Rats on board, enough mana to activate and make a token. Staring down a Storm Breath on board, a Storm Breath he knows about that's still in his opponent's hand. and a Satyr token. So he's going to serve in with both here. Alec is just going to chump out one of them. I'm assuming Jeff is going to make one in response, which he does. And did he bin a Blood Baron, I think? It's a pretty high impact card to have sent away, but needed to do so in order to save his creature in combat. And Alec off the top finds Amizium Mortars, and he has the 6 land he needs to overload it, so all the pack rats are gone. Stormbreath serving in unabashed, putting Jeff down to 8. And we know Alec has that second Stormbreath. Jeff knows he has a second Stormbreath too. Alec kind enough to leave it revealed off the Thoughtseize. So there's a Devour Flesh. That's going to answer the first copy. But Jeff's life total, short of a removal spell here, is going to go down to 4. There's a Burning Tree off the top, which will let him chain into the Stormbreath. So let's see if Jeff has an answer or if he's going to drop to 4. He does not, so he is dead on board. Needs to find a non-white answer. Stuck on mana the entire game. Missing his 3rd land drop early. His 4th land drop eventually was a tapped Guildgate. And there is a Bile-Blight that's going to answer. Bile-Blight answering the Burning Tree Emissary, which lets him cast a second copy of Devour Flesh to answer the Stormbreath, but then Alec just reloads with Frostburn Weird and Boros Reckoner, and Jeff can't deal with either, so just like that, our round 3 feature match is over as Alec Myers, off of a very aggressive start in both games,